Republican MAGA Congressman Randy Fine from my home state of Florida recently during an interview sounded the alarm bells about what he calls crazy people taking over the Republican Party. Now, I will read you Randy Fine's exact quote in just a moment, but I want to remind everybody that if you have ever heard the name Randy Fine, it's because he did something crazy, something potentially illegal, just an absolute, by every possible measure, total fucking nutball, okay? He's not right, which is the nicest way we can say that about people down here in the South. Like, boy ain't right. But this guy, who is constantly in the headlines for doing the craziest crap you've ever heard of, says that crazy people could take over our party at any moment, because apparently Randy Fine doesn't own a mirror. But here is what he said. When these people surfaced decades ago, they didn't take them seriously. They were so determined to gain power, they said, we'll take anybody who into our tent, and now those people have taken over the tent. That's why we got to fight in my party and the Republican Party to not let crazy people take over. Because if we do, we're done. I think what we see happening to the Democratic Party, it may be good for Republicans, but it's terrible for America. So, one of the craziest Republicans to hold a federal office says, we got to make sure we don't let the crazy people into our party. Don't you worry. I'm looking out for, I'll tell you if I see a crazy person come up in here. It is literally the Tim Robinson hot dog sketch. We're all trying to find the guy who did this, right? Randy, buddy, you are the crazy people. It's you. It's also people like Jim Jordan, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who may or may not still be in your party. I don't care. Lauren Boebert, Ron DeSantis, Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump himself, couch lover JD. Those are the crazy people. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Kash Patel, Laura Loomer, the guy in the Uncle Sam costume doing it at the Great American State Fair. That's your party. All of those weird, Mike Lindell, that's your party, buddy. All of the crazy people are in your party. But here's what gets me about this. Randy Fine is trying to tell us that the Democratic Party is being taken over by the crazy people, right? The Democratic Socialists have taken over because they're crazy. These are people who want you to be able to go to the doctor and not have to go into debt to do that. Does that sound crazy? These are people who want hungry people to have food. Does that sound crazy? Does that sound like a dangerous idea? These are people who don't want money to corrupt our politics. All of these things that the Democratic Socialists are pushing for are actually supported by a majority of people in the United States. When you look at the polls, when they're not asking about party affiliation, just on the issues, a majority of Americans support these things and have for over a decade now. They want these things. The public does not think they are crazy. The public, however, does think you're crazy, Randy. I mean, Crazy Randy sounds like you should be running a fireworks stand. Like, hey, come on, we're going down to Crazy Randy's to go get some bottle rockets, right? These ideas are not crazy. The people who oppose them are. I want to take a moment to tell you about a wonderful new book that is out Be Like Trump by John Evans. And yes, I wrote the afterword for this book. Now, Be Like Trump is a wonderful little story that essentially puts things into a better perspective for Americans. Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, it doesn't matter. This book takes real things Donald Trump has done and shows people what it would be like if Trump had done those horrible things to them personally. Would that change your opinion of him? And that is what a lot of MAGA does need to realize. This book is not an attack on Trump. It is putting his actions into a better perspective for the public. And it also does so in a humorous way, which I absolutely love. The book is available on Amazon. Of course, we will have a link in the description of our videos, so follow that, check it out. It's available both in paperback and Kindle edition. This is a must-read for anyone who, one, may have forgotten some of the horrible things that Donald Trump has done over the years, and two, for anyone who thinks to themselves, yeah, he's done horrible things, but he's this far-off figure, and those things really don't affect me. Read the book, and then tell me after that if you don't think these things affect you.